You can see how the colors are pretty dull. Black, browns, grays, like that. Now up to arranging them. So since this is black and white, I will go with this side and try to make it somehow a complementing side to this one. Yeah, of course this happened. I had it in perfect order and then a little breeze came. Though we have like 32 to 34 degrees each day. So yeah, I'll better start to stick now my chosen stripes and then continue the process. When I realized that I have found kind of my subject, I started to create embellishment. Those Jane Davenport paint over pen are perfect when it comes to different surfaces, especially painted ones, when you might have a hard time with other mediums to cover them. Unfortunately, they're only coming in a few colors. I would love to have them a more variety, because they really come in handy. So this is nowhere near to perfection, and doesn't have to be. It's really so fascinating when you start to kind of wrap your thoughts around the layout, and you're curious on your own what it will bring up. And I'm deeply convinced that things that are appearing from beneath us are always coming from the soul or the unconscious. And this layout was another proof of my theory or my belief. And when you read, when you'll hear the text I wrote to this layout, you'll understand what I mean. And since the project will really be about books, I thought I'd try to make the books a bit of a more standing out graphic on this layout. So therefore I took some white acrylic paint and will kind of blend out the other stuff with a sponge, wet sponge, to kind of bring the books into a more central, standing out position. Not sure if it's going to work, but That's the idea. And I'm really careful because I like the pattern that I've chosen. I want them to be see-through. They're important, each of its own. If I would share all my thoughts, you might think I'm crazy, but I can assure you that each stripe has its own purpose and meaning. Then again, I didn't want to come in with too much of, like, I was thinking of outlining the books. I kind of I want to make them a bit of having like rays like those coming, you know, like effect for around the book, but yeah, not sure that I'm going with that idea. Even the little mannequin is too hidden now, but it is what it is. It's white acrylic paint, it won't go anywhere after I put it down. So I probably just go with the corner, intensify them a little bit. And I mean, it's a process, right? You cannot have change if you don't change things. So if I would have just put the stripes on here, it wouldn't turn out as it is meant to be, kind of, my belief. So now the paint is really drying so super fast because it's so terribly hot out here, but it is kind of handy right now. So I will add the symbolic sticker number 1, which is, of course, I think every little girl dreamed of. Being Cinderella one night. But it's more for, like, together with balloons, that books were kind of carrying me away from my life, from things I suffered, from the loneliness I felt, how I grew up. I mean, it's my picture and I can do with it whatever I want, which is the sweet freedom of creating art, being your own boss and master, and critic too. Fun fact, my oldest son, turning 18 in 2 months, is starting his apprenticeship as a bookseller in a bookstore in 2 days, and I'm super proud that I could give my passion for books to my kids, which is not very common anymore these days. So yeah, and that one of them chose to even spend his life earning money through selling books and inspire people and see more of the world through books. That's really something that makes me super proud and happy. So let me think. I will have to add text that I have already prepared, but I'm not sure how without ruining more of my layout. So yeah, I'll be back when I figure it out. So as I said from the beginning, that I kind of see those pages to complement each other, and while digging into my past and my memories, I thought I would make this twine ink experiment kind of a stepmother character as seen in Cinderella, but like from behind. Well, I didn't have a stepmother, but my mother could be quite harsh, and she was kind of an authority to me, which is not so warm and welcoming a lot of times. So I decided to try my best, since I'm not good at drawing, to draw kind of the back of a stepmother, and then I will write my text that I have prepared around it, which then makes the connection of the books that could transport me into other worlds, away from home, so to say. So let's try that. I'm trying to find a picture from behind her, because I don't know how the hair looks from behind, but it seems to be quite difficult. Please, all you famous, talented artists out there in the world, don't blame me. I'm just not a good drawer. That's why I'm making collages, because I can't draw. No, she didn't have 4 arms. Just my way of trying to make this a fashion thingy. I'm starting to even liking it. I don't think she has that many muscles, because she didn't do anything in the household, so let's make her a thinny. Lady. Like that. That's enough. So I will write now text around. I could read at the age of 4, and I could write also around the same age, around 4 or 5. I had my first diary. When I turned 6, I wished one for Christmas. I received it, and since then I'm writing in my diary. I was thinking that I will use my grey ink to kind of complete the dress. Well, I see a dress, I don't know what use is, kind of those, how are they called, those splash psychotests. But I immediately saw a dress, so I'll make it a dress. I had really fun making this technique with the Now I don't think that this page is already finished, so I'm having a little conversation in my head how to finish the page. Yeah, I'll be back. One simple finishing is always adding a border. And since the books with the gold border are always the coolest one, I'll make a gold border here. As good as possible. And since my past has also become kind of a story, I decided to make the border around both pages, because it's gone, it's written in my life book, so to say, but it won't be the same anymore and it won't return anymore. And even though it's a sad story, it's also a precious story, because for the book lovers of you, you sure understand how meaningful certain books can be for us and have a real impacts in our lives. Yes, please invent markers that really work fluently. Please. You had one job, right? And of course I wanted my layout to have a title, and I'm just going with letter stickers, which are made or have the effect of being printed out of book pages. And that's the end of this video. I hope you liked this little process video with me. Tell me if you would like to see more of this kind. I personally I am over and over fascinated by the fact that you can start like nowhere and just searching things together, led by your gut, so to say, or your inner muse, and it turns out beautiful and meaningful, and you have spent time with your inner self, which is so important. And if you go and create something out of it, you even have something very beautiful at the end to look at. And this is the end. I will make some close-ups afterwards, and I just hope you enjoyed this journey with me and feeling inspired to do something similar, and see you in my next videos. Bye bye.